you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone. So we know that sports medicine class offerings have been around in high schools in a variety of formats for many years, and it's been increasing. And these courses vary a lot in what they offer. So for this reason, the NATA created the sports medicine course guidelines to assist with establishing some continuity in sports medicine education across the country. And I've got a link to that course outline on the screen in front of you. If you've not looked at it, it's knowledge-based, not skill-based. And if you follow that, your students will learn a variety of information, including, but not limited to, history of the field, types of careers that fall under sports medicine, even ethical and legal issues, things like sports nutrition, fitness, basic types of injuries, environmental illness and emergency response, all sorts of things. And all of the new Realityworks products that we're going to share today are aligned to the NATA Secondary School Sports Medicine course outline that's at the link above. And I've also included 3 links that I thought were very helpful pathway videos that you can share if you're trying to introduce the sports medicine pathway to the students in your class. So now let's take a look at some of those brand new sports medicine products that we have just launched at Realityworks. We're very excited to share with you today. And there are 6 of them specific to our new product line. So we're going to go through the contents of each, the curriculum highlights, and kind of a good overview of each of those. So the first one that we're going to kick off with is our sports nutrition lab kit. And this kit includes many different hands-on labs that get students into the sports nutrition topic. So we've got posters all about reading food labels and nutrients. We've got some workbooks that have extension activities, but then we have things like BMI calculators, skin fold calipers to do some of the lab work. We've got a 2-pound fat model that's really eye-opening when you put it in the hands of students and they see and feel what that's like. But all of these items are integrated into the lessons in the curriculum. And if you did all of it, it would be anywhere from 11 to 14 hours. So these are the 7 lesson topics. So it goes from nutrients and then how to use those to enhance sports performance. Then, of course, you get into all the body composition, body fat, body weight, and things like that, how to calculate that. We've got a lesson specific to food labels and a guide for athletes so they understand what impact that has. We also get into safe methods for not only weight gain and weight loss as well. So safe methods. We talk a little bit about supplements, getting into some vocabulary, and then also substance abuse at the end. And all of these 7 lessons do have 1 to 2 lab activities in them that get the topics quite hands-on for the students. So our second new product in our sports medicine product line is our concussion education kit. And this is where we introduce students to traumatic brain injury and what that means, as well as how concussions fall into that categorization. This whole kit really makes a nice 1-week unit all about concussions. We include a brain model so that they understand the parts of the brain impacted in a concussion. We also include a concussion simulation experience, and there are 10 student kits. So you can pair students up and you can all be doing this at the same time in a classroom. Those concussion glasses will when you put them on, make things confusing. There's also an audio component in the headphones where there's a confusing audio track on the MP3 player. So students put the glasses on and they have the headphones on, and then you have 10 different stations around the room of activities that students need to experience while they've got these things on, and then the students switch at each station so they both have the opportunity to see the impact that a concussion would have on some normal activities. And then we also have a poster set that you can put up that's just a really nice reference for anatomy of the brain, signs, symptoms, and also concussion prevention things. So you've got a storage case and you can get it out for the 1 week. And then when you're done with it, easily store it. So here are the lessons that are included in the curriculum for this one. And we kick it off by helping students understand just what traumatic brain injuries are, in the anatomy and things like that. Then we get into concussions specifically, and they go through that simulation experience. And then we get into treatment and prevention so that they know how to safely prevent concussions from even happening. And then we have some case study scenarios, some sports scenarios involving concussions that students have to problem solve and work through. Our third new product in our sports medicine is environmental factors in sports medicine lab kit. And this is one of my favorite ones because it's so unique. And again, because we're aligned to the NATA secondary sports medicine course outline, there is a unit specifically in that outline about environmental factors and how to assess them and how to prevent things that could lead to injury. So some of the things included in this kit are light meters, a wet bulb globe temperature stress meter, light meters. There's multiples of these things so that 5 small groups can be doing the labs at the same time. We even have a sun exposure lesson where they're using the sun print paper and things like that to learn about the risks of sun exposure to athletes. And a supplemental kit like this could really be nicely integrated as a 1-week unit on that topic. So we've tried to think of everything from curriculum to all of the lab things that they're going to need in the small groups to make it very, very interactive. So this is a closer look at the curriculum for our environmental factors lab kit. And you can see each of the 5 lessons has anywhere from 1 to 2 different lab activities in it. And we are actively integrating all the pieces of the kit into each of those 5 lessons. And we've kind of identified, how each of these lessons is played out. But they're all very unique lessons and they're very interesting and hands-on. And there is really not another kit like this out there. We looked, and because we couldn't find one, we wanted to come up with one of our own. So this is a really unique kit and a very exciting one to put in front of your students. Another one of our new products is our Rehabilitation and Modalities scenario kit. And this is could be about a 2-week unit if you taught everything in it. But in this kit, you'll learn about 7 key therapeutic modalities and also the safety procedures for each. And then in the workbooks provided, you are presented, or students are presented with 25 acute sports injury scenarios, and they need to choose the appropriate treatment plan and put that in place, and also choose the most appropriate modality for the treatment plan. And then the scenario flashcards also provide additional practice to match the definitions of the modalities as well as safety procedures for each one of them. So it's a real unique hands-on way to get your students into that type of content. Now, here are the 6 lessons that we've got for rehab and modalities. We start with how to understand each of the main 7 ones presented. Then we get into specific safety procedures for each of those 7. Then we talk about 5 phases of rehab. And then they're going to create some first aid treatment plan for acute injuries. And then we also do have a career exploration lesson in here because some students may not even be aware of some of the rehabilitation related professions that are available to them. And then at the end, is when they have the hands-on application and assessment where they're presented with those acute sports injury scenarios, and they have to come up with all of those different treatment plans for each of those injuries. The next one in our list is a taping and wrapping skills sim kit. And this includes all of the items that you're going to need for hands-on practice for just many, many different taping, wrapping, and bracing skills. We know that in the scenario guide that's presented, there are 20 sports injury scenarios, and each one features a different type of taping or wrapping skill that students need to master. So they're going to read through the scenario, they're going to choose the appropriate type of tape wrapping or bracing, and then they're going to actually do it. So this really provides many, many ways to have hands-on practical application to learn those 20 to 25 different taping and wrapping skills within a realistic scenario. And you can see from all the things provided that the entire class could be working on these things simultaneously. You could set up just a whole bunch of different stations around the room, and each one would be working on a different taping or wrapping skill. And here are the lessons in the curricula. So we start with introducing taping and wrapping and even protective equipment. Then we get into the thing, taping versus bracing. And then they have a lab activity where they're dealing with that. Then we specifically hone in on lower extremity taping techniques and upper extremity taping techniques that they practice. And then lastly, they will go into joint and long bone, where they're going to be doing immobilization and splinting techniques. So lots and lots of hands-on practice with a lot of different supplies that come with this kit. Here's the one that I'm the most excited about to say, and this is coming soon, so early 2022, and it's our knee and ankle sports injury assessment trainer. And there's nothing like it out there. To say it's groundbreaking is really true, because in most cases, when you're dealing with knee and ankle sports injuries, you as a student don't have the opportunity to get your hands on a patient that's having those specific injuries unless you just happen to be at a location where an injury happens like that, or you're in a clinic setting and you're able to, and you're exposed to it. So this one, we have focused on assessing common sports knee injuries, including ACL, MCL, and LCL. And then you can see the list of ankle injuries that you can also choose from. So how it works, it's a leg, and there are dials at the top of the leg where you choose the knee or the ankle injury that you would like to have your students be exposed to. And you even get to dial into the degree of the injury. And then you get to use those common tests where you're manipulating the knee and the ankle to diagnose or determine what they have, and then from that create a treatment plan. And we've taken our prototype knee and ankle to several different national health science and CTE conferences, and our sports medicine and athletic trainer instructors have been blown away. So this is one that you will see in our 2022 catalog. And again, nothing like it out there. It also does come with curriculum. So stay tuned for more on this particular tool for the classroom. Now, we know that ethical and legal issues in healthcare are applicable to any healthcare pathway program, and sports medicine is no different. And we have recently launched an online course dealing with ethical and legal issues. There are 10 different lessons in the course, and the course is very interactive. So students log in and they can take 10 different lessons. And in those lessons, there are many different interactive learning objects and things that will engage them in the content, from videos to drop down things to where they'll click on something and it reveals more information. And they've got online assignments to do, but we've also included a workbook which gives 40 more additional extension assignments that correspond to the 10 different lessons. So they're getting a lot of practice thinking about ethical and legal issues. It's very easy to deploy. When you purchase it, you get one link that you give to all of your students that's unique to you. And they click on the link and they get access to those 10 lessons, and they complete them. They turn the work into you for grading. And there's a list of all of the assignments in the workbook and online, so you can track their progress. There's a certificate of completion at the end as well. And if they did all of it, it would be around 10 hours of teaching time or content and learning. So here are the different lesson topics. You can see everything from a patient's rights to advanced directives. We've got confidentiality, even some social media things, ethical foundations. We've got specific ethical and legal issues as they impact healthcare. We've got some real specific contemporary dilemmas that are being seen in healthcare now, and how would you deal with those. Religious and cultural values and how that plays into ethical and legal issues and end of life. So all sorts of things in there. It's a very rich program, and we've made it very easy if you find yourself in an environment where students are learning remotely or even in a hybrid model. We've taken that same online course and we've turned it into a print program, because we know that not everyone chooses to use an online course. So we know that patient empathy is just a must-have skill for success in healthcare and even sports medicine. So we would consider this a supplemental online course, and it's just an excellent way to teach your students not only empathy, but also ethical and legal issues as they apply to healthcare. Again, here's those 10 lessons that in the review of the different topics, the same 10 topics are in the print program as in the online, but it's just a different format. So we've got in any learning environment your students would be in, whether it's in person, remote, or hybrid, there is a way or a course that teaches them ethical and legal issues that'll work for most programs. So the next one that I'm going to talk about, that's another online course, is empathy. And we know that empathy, like I said before, is a must-have skill for success in healthcare. And this is an 8-lesson online course. It follows the same type of format or platform that our other online courses are taught within. And this is about 5 to 8 hours, depending on the aptitude of the student taking it. In all of our online courses, we have pre and post summative knowledge checks that you can use to measure knowledge gained over the life of the course. This specific one has 49 online assignments that students will complete within those 8 lessons and send off to you for accountability. There's a student dashboard that when we send you the link that they have access to, that's how they take the access to the different lessons and launch them. Instructors also have a separate dashboard that you can go into to get some course best practices. You also have an editable list of all the assignments for tracking. Again, we've got that certificate of completion, but we have tried to make the content very engaging with different types of assignments. We've got videos embedded. We've got some graphics. We've got drop downs and scenarios and all sorts of things built into this online course. And here are the 8 topics that are in our curriculum for this online course. We start with how to develop clinical empathy and just what that is. Then we hone in specifically on the skill of patient communication, because that's so important. And then we talk about how to apply clinical empathy and therapeutic communication on the job. And then we get into 5 different lessons that have scenarios. So we have empathy scenarios in emergency services, phlebotomy, general patient care. We even have pediatric, and then we have some on bariatric patients. So a lot of different situations that your students may find themselves dealing with someday on the job, and putting them in realistic scenarios is a great problem-solving way for them to be exposed to this type of a topic. Now we've shared, that's our new product line of all of our sports medicine things that we just launched, but we also always do like to share some free resources with you as well to help your program. So we've got a free soft skill resource for sports medicine that we want to talk about. And we found that one very simple yet effective way to help students learn some employability or soft skills are with our pathway specific scenario cards. And we have those written by subject matter experts. And we have a set for sports medicine. And there are 19 separate soft skills. Each card focuses on a different soft skill. There's a scenario, and in each scenario includes point of view to consider and key discussion questions. And in addition to sports medicine, we have sets on nursing and geriatric, medical assistant, and EMT scenarios. And we're today going to share 2 scenarios from our sports medicine set that you could actually use online or with a class in person if you choose to. So the first one that we're going to talk about or share with you is from our sports medicine pathway card set, and it focuses on patients. And we know that scenarios are a really good way to get your students to interact with each other and the content. So something like this would be perfect to use in an athletic trainer course or even a health occupation career exploration lesson. Sometimes it's even fun to have your students try their acting skills. So let's take a look here. It says, Rachel is a highly regarded sports medicine physician with a reputation for providing excellent care to her patients. Often she arrives late to work, causing her appointments to be delayed for the rest of the day. The clinic staff have accommodated Rachel's lateness as much as possible. At staff meetings, when the subject is brought up, Rachel only offers excuses for her lateness and expects the staff to fix the scheduling issues. Patients are beginning to walk out after waiting for long periods of time, and as a result, the clinic has been losing revenue. Now, you could assign students to the different roles in the scenario and have them role play in a class. And after the scene is done, you could ask those key discussion questions that are on the scenario card on the back, and that can really generate a great class-wide discussion. Now, if you wanted to use this online, you could actually put this out there for, put the scenario out there for your students to read through. And then you could have your students role play the healthcare provider, perhaps using a family member or friend as the other actor. They could record it on their phones, which they love to do. And then they could submit it to you with answers to those discussion questions. So let's take a look at our second scenario. So this one focuses on teamwork. Mary, a physical therapist, is working with Jonathan, a runner who injured his ankle in a recent trail running event. Todd, Mary's coworker, walks by and Mary asks him to help her set up a piece of therapy equipment that she needs to use. Todd rolls his eyes, complains about having to help her with a simple task, and then begins to criticize Mary's therapy approach in front of Jonathan, the other therapists, and patients. So again, if you use something like this online, students could role play being that healthcare provider, record it, submit it. But something like this, if you can do scenarios like this while you're in person in class, students really get into the role playing and things like that. So it's a very engaging way to teach some simple soft skill instruction. So we've got a few other free resources that we would like to share with you today that we have found that we want to pass along. First of all, we've got some access links to some of our curricula, some of the other products that we didn't share with you that also are appropriate for sports medicine. And the links here go to the lesson plans that go with these types of resources that we have. And we've picked some of the most appropriate products that we already have, not part of our new product line, that we also think would be great for sports medicine. So the first one is our closed fracture trauma mannequin. It's a mannequin with some closed fractures and other injuries on the body. And you can certainly use that mannequin to do some immobilization and splinting. And we've shared the link with you there for that curricula. So there's a lesson there. Even if you don't have that mannequin, you could certainly use these lessons on standardized patients, other mannequins if you have them. So that's there for you. We also do have a joint model set. It's a model set of 4 different joints. And we have a quick start guide that labels those anatomical parts. So even if you don't have that joint model, you could use our quick start guide at the link that we've provided. And you could even come up with some, perhaps you have your own models already, or maybe you have a skeleton, or even you could find some pictures online, but definitely the quick start guide is helpful for identifying the parts of those joints. The next thing that we have an AED trainer. It simulates AED procedures, and we have a lesson all about cardiac arrest management and AED procedures. So if you'd like to teach some of the content from that lesson, I've included that. And then the last one we wanted to share with you today comes from our bandaging and wound care simulator. And there's a lesson in that curricula all about an introduction to bandaging and wound care. So you could use, again, some of the procedures that you find in that lesson, some of the slides. Some of the quizzes and activities are ready to go. So don't reinvent the wheel. There's some free stuff out there for you from some of our other curricula. Now we've got some other free lesson plans available, and we do offer a 1-week, it's a 5-lesson unit all about health science career exploration. And we also have another unit on employability skills lessons as well. And those can be found at the link we've provided there. So if you're looking to extend some of the career exploration or soft skills that you offer, you might want to check that out. We also have a series of several different health science careers, posters, and infographics at the link that you see above as well. I know there's one specific to sports medicine, as well as other just general health science careers. So that could be some good stuff that you'd like to put up in your classroom. If you're looking for information on sports medicine activities and lesson plans, I even did a little bit more research, and here are a few more that I found that I thought I'd just pass along to you. First of all, I found a blog that includes a review and links of what the writer believes are the 4 best high school sports medicine lessons and activities. And so you can click on that and check those activities out. It might be something you want to adapt and use in your program. I definitely thought it might be worth reading on your own. And then I know that YouTube offers a wealth of free sports medicine videos that you could use. And I chose a few here. Most of them aren't super long. One's on becoming a sports medicine doctor. The other one is specifically on introducing the sports medicine pathway. And then the other one focuses on athletic trainer careers. So if you want to help your students understand a little bit more about what the sports medicine pathway has to offer, those might be also some resources that you would like to tap into. So just a few more things to share with you before we get to Q&A here. So first of all, we do webinars, just like the one today. We do webinars every month on a variety of health science topics in addition to sports medicine. And we have some that we've already done in sports medicine that we have archived and recorded that you might like to watch on your own. We archive everything that we do for webinars and make it available after the fact. So we have a whole other webinar all about activities and resources for teaching sports medicine that you may find very helpful. We also have some of the other ones listed, some general health science concepts, some free resources, how to design stimulation-based lessons for high school, and then also specifically in EMS, engaging with Gen Z students. So just a few of the ones I highlighted that I thought might be most applicable of interest to sports medicine instructors. Again, we're talking about our free career exploration 1 week unit there. And this is a visual of a couple of those free infographics and posters that I mentioned earlier. You can see the one on the right's on the sports medicine. The one on the left is that general health career one. We also do offer free health science implementation guides. And you can go to the link that's provided there and learn more about the types of guides that we have available to you on health science implementation. A few more items we have. We do have a blog. So we frequently have new writers that contribute activities, lesson plans, and things for the classroom. If we launch anything new for products, frequently those will be out in the blog as well. So it's a great place to go to catch up on new and exciting things. We also do try to be very active on some of our social media. Among those is Facebook and Twitter. Frequently, instructors will weigh in and share things on there, but sometimes students will as well. So those are always fun to check out. So Emma, I've been talking a while. Why don't we open it up for Q&A now if we have any that have come into the chat during the webinar?
Yeah, we'll let those questions kind of roll in. Just wanted to go over one last time what everybody will be receiving. Within 24 hours after this webinar, you should receive an email that has a link to the recording, as well as the PowerPoint slides and all of the links, a handout with all of the links that Denise has gone over today. And Denise, I do have a question. Where can they find information on our new sports medicine products?
If you go out to our website, realityworks.com, you will find under the health science, that if you click on that, there will be a thing that says new 2021 products. Many of the sports medicine things you will find there. And then also some of the new things like our knee and ankle assessment trainer, that is so new that we will be having more information forthcoming into the new year. So our best source is always the website.
Perfect. And I'm not seeing any other questions coming in at this time.
All right, well, great. Well, thank you all very much. And we hope you're as excited as we are about the new things in sports medicine from Realityworks. Thank you very much.